Guys, we are back with another video. This one we are going big, like that's an Orlando. We're going really big. Basically, I've managed to get hold of this absolute beast. This is a Kronos XP. I think it's like a V1 or something. But it's an old car. It's got a few issues, as we can see. Basically, this chassis is absolutely twisted and bent all over the place. It is really bad. We'll show it hopefully when we get it off, if we can get it off. This is obviously a second-hand, used and abused sort of basher, so it's going to have lots and lots of screws that are, you know, rounded off and stuff like that. So this is going to be either very frustrating or hopefully very smooth. But this build, we're going to be changing the chassis. It's got a problem with the front diff. The gears on that have been stripped, so we're going to change the front diff. The diff housing as well has got a crack on it somewhere, so managed to get hold of just a whole entire new diff assembly with the diff inside of it. So see, that'll be changed. I've already gone ahead and put in a different servo in there. That's a 25 kg digital servo there, so I've already changed that over. Have noticed that it will turn barely one way, I mean, and the other way it turns a lot, so something's going on there. I've got a feeling it's to do with these links here. This one, look at the amount of threads on there, get the amount of threads on there, but then you go to the other side, so it's a bit dark, but they are a lot longer, so that'd be, I don't know, making it cocked or something, I don't know, but we will see. We've got a lot of learning to do with this one. I've not ever had anything like this before. It's always been Orlandos or, you know, sort of smaller scale stuff, so this will be quite interesting. Now this thing, it will be running on 6S, so a massive 5,000 milliamp hour 6S on this, and it will only run it for about, like, I don't know, 10 minutes max, something like that, which is absolutely crazy. But the size of the motor that's in it it's a gargantuan beast. It's a Kronos 825 motor, and the ESC that goes with it is the 185 ESC, which I think it's actually 150 amps, something like that. So, but yeah, it's all new to me. The controller that it does come with and the receiver is one of these. Now I'm going to change that over just because I like having most of my stuff on receivers and that I know. And obviously we've got the GT5, FlySky GT5, so we're going to be putting in the FlySky GT5 receiver into this, so that will hopefully give us a bit more options on stuff like, you know, adding a throttle curve to it, because at the moment, the time that I did get to have a little go at this, it was just, it was crazy. You know, you just barely touch the throttle and it was off. So hopefully we'll be able to add a bit of a throttle curve. So, I'm still waiting on some parts to turn up. We have had the chassis plate turn up, so it's a nice new, and yes, thank goodness it's straight. That was a bit of a worry, but this arrived, it's good. So we've got to get that, diffs, everything's got to come off. Ugh, it's going to be awful, but yeah, it's something to do. Right, finally the diffs turned up, so this is the new front diff. It's actually, it could be either front or rear on this vehicle, so thank goodness that's turned up. So now what I want to do is get stripping it down. I've just managed to get hold of some new tools as well, because all mine's tiny little Allen keys normally, but yeah, pick some of these up from Amazon, about a tenner, something like that. But yeah, let's get ripping into this thing, I think. Right, okay, so got the wheels off. What we're going to try and do is undo this one, 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 and this one. Hopefully the whole entire rear will just come off. So let's have a look. we've got the rear ends off, so what I might do is take this indoors, give it a bit of a wash down, and be honest with you, it is filthy. Can't investigate any other problems, and hopefully I'll be able to just stick this whole entire thing straight into the new chassis, and the same with the front. We will see. Right, so this is the front end. If we spin that round, it's got some really janky teeth. See that bit there? Here it's skipping. There you go, it's locked up there. So that definitely dead. So we're gonna have to get this out and replace it. New diffs in, diff housings on as well, so that's all back together. There's the old one. You can see the damage. If I can get it focus, it's got a crack. So that was no good, and that's obviously what mucked up the gears inside. So at least that's new, done. Another thing that I've done is I've replaced the wing mount on the back, because that was broken, and it was actually, because it's got this wheelie bar that's been put on it, that sort of lowered the holes down, so you need to go down to the bottom of the holes. So yeah, we've now mounted it through them ones and into these ones here as well. So that sort of dropped the wing down a bit. We've also added a new wing, so they get all nice and shiny. Woohoo! So that, we're getting somewhere now. Right, so we've got the chassis off. This is what I was saying about how bent up it is. I mean, it's absolutely all over the place. That bit's meant to be straight, by the way. That's meant to be all the way along one piece, but it's impressive. Impressive. So we've got all this stuff off anyway now. So now it's time to start cleaning some of these bits. Start putting this on the new chassis. And then we can go ahead and strip down all of these diffs and start replacing the fluids. Awesome stuff. Go the moment of truth now. This is going to be filthy inside of here, hence the gloves. Right, here we go, pop the seal. Ugh, look at that, disgusting, absolute filth. So I've got to try and clean this out somehow before we put the new stuff in. Right. Don't want to break this seal. Ugh. Ah, here we go. Right, so this was the centre diff. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's been mullered basically. When I did get this, I mean, the guy did fully admit he wasn't aware that you had to top up the diff oil. So he ran it, obviously, with no diff oil or minimal diff oil in the centre. So yeah, you can see it's definitely worn that away on the inside. Along there, I'm meant to be straight and not straight. So I'm probably gonna get a new one of these. They're only like about £6, so for what it's worth, definitely get one of them. Right, the rear diff, I've taken it apart, stripped it down, cleaned it all out. Look how clean that is in there now. Right, for the rear diff, we're going to be throwing in it some 20,000 CST diff oil, and for the front diff, we're going to be throwing in it some 60,000 CST diff oil. And then the middle centre diff, we're going really thick, we're going 500,000. Okay, so both front and rear diffs, they have been serviced. So like we said before, we've now got 60,000 in the front, 20,000 in the back, and we're still waiting on the part so that we can do the actual centre diff. But for now, we can get throwing both of these bits back on the chassis. Okay, so we have mounted the front and the rear. One more thing that we can do whilst we're waiting for the part that we need is concentrate on the shocks. So what I'm going to do is take off all 4 shocks, drain out the oil that's in them, and replace it with new. That stuff. So they're all cleaned up now. Can add the 500 CST to it. Don't want to do it up too tight because you'll muck the diaphragm up, so that should do it. Get your spring. your spring over there. Right, suspension's all on now. And good news, the bit's turned up, so we can now get building this diff. Get it on. Right, diff is back together, so what we've now got to do is mount this in the car. So you had the links for it, and hopefully we'll be near enough ready then. We'll be able to take it out for a drive. Guys, everything is on. Everything is on. So all we've got to do now is whack the shell on it, take it for a rip. Right guys, we have come to my local park. There's a few dog walkers right over there, but hopefully we'll be alright. We are now going to try this out. Let's hope that it's working for a start, I suppose. But yes, let's see. Steering's working. Yes. It has got power, I'll give it that much. It wants to wheelie everywhere, it's amazing. Look at this thing. Guys, there's so much more. It's just amazing now. The only time I've get to drive this so far, it was a piece of crap. It was chewing through the gears. I'd say the diff fluids are wrong. The shock oil was barely in it. This is a completely different beast now. It is amazing. Love it. Ooh, that was a bit close. arms going quite a bit now. I think we'll shut it down, but if you ask me, that's been pretty successful. Right guys, we are back in the man cave after that run. Everything was successful, nothing broke, ran smooth. It was a wicked, absolute wicked. So I can't believe the sheer difference of how this thing's running now. Just do a bit of maintenance on it. Like I said before, never done anything like this, so this was a first. And quite frankly, happy days, mate. It went really smooth. So I'm very happy with this, and I'm going to call this video thin. We're done. So don't forget, hit that share, like, subscribe, bell icon, all the above, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.